Hi, I'm Mia Cardenas, and welcome to the first episode of All Things GISD. I'm here with Dr. Gibson, of course. So we will be here recording this for you guys every other Monday to talk about all things GISD. Before we start, I want the people to get to know you a little more. So how did you come about thinking to come to Galveston?
Well, we got to the point there. We have children and grandchildren that live in the area, and the district in Marshall, everything was great. Everything was fine. We were making all kinds of progress academically with our facilities and everything, but we were just missing so much of our grandchildren's lives because it's from here to there is about 4.5 hours. And so we couldn't just take in every ball game or every dance recital or every, so we had really thought about over time trying to get back to the greater Houston area. And so I got a call from one of the men that were consulting with Galveston ISD about, this might be something that you're interested in. And he told me why. And so from there, he encouraged me to apply, and I did. And, we went through the process. It's different than anything you do. It's a 2-interview process and just a lot of questions about really anything that has to do with the school district, from academics to facilities to finance to you name it, they can ask it. Right? And so, we just wanted to get back to the greater Houston area more than anything.
Awesome. Just want to be close to family.
Yes, we did. That's right.
And another question, it has been a crazy past week. The main question that I have is, who do you talk to when you have to contemplate on canceling school? So
let me tell you an interesting fact. And this is a trivia question. Name the superintendent in Texas for the 2020-2021 school year who lived in North Texas and canceled school because of a hurricane and came to a coastal community and canceled school because of snow. Shouldn't it be just opposite? So,
wow.
Yeah, so there was the remnants of a hurricane and we canceled for a day because we were just concerned, and sure enough, the electricity went off for about 3.5 hours. So we made the right decision. And then I came down here never dreaming that soon after I got here, we were going to have snow and ice. So, we kept thinking, we don't need to ask anymore. What might 2021 bring us after 2020 COVID? And we are socially distanced for everyone watching. We did take, and we have masks that we wear when we're not shooting and everything. But that's an interesting question because that not only with what happened last week, this is something that you guys have learned to deal with tropical storms and hurricanes. Probably, I won't say regularly, but more than you care to remember. So, so let's just go over like last week. So it started we were watching the weather, we were following what the predictions were, and so on Thursday. We had a little team meeting, and it was, our police chief Amador, he's over all the security and the safety, Paul Byers, who's over all the facilities, Connie Morganroth, who's the finance and operations, Diane Polsing, who's Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources or Capital Improvement, Billy Rudolph, who is our communication. He gets the word out. And I might be leaving some people, but there was just a nucleus of people. And so we listened to the report on Thursday from the Weather Service out of the Houston kind of College Station area, so surrounding areas. It affected us. And they're making their predictions of what they think is going to happen. And as you know, any storm can change over a matter of, 4, 5, 6 hours. So we kind of came to the conclusion that day, there's a pretty good chance we're going to be out Monday and Tuesday, but let's wait. So we did the same thing, 2 p.m. or 1 p.m. on Friday. And I believe this. I believe if you're going to have to close, make that decision sooner rather than later. You want to prepare yourself over the weekend. There are times that we don't have a choice. That, it rains, it floods. We didn't know that it was going to be that bad. But if we can, the more notice we can give, we want to. And so we just sat and talked and discussed it and, what's the worst possible scenario. And I will tell you, it was worse than we thought the worst possible scenario would be. And so, ultimately, and of course, then I keep the school board informed. I'm emailing them, texting them, this is what we're looking at, this is what we're thinking. But ultimately, I'm the one who makes the final decision that says, we're not going to have school. And so, you know, the original plan, if you heard, y'all, you know this, we were going to be out Monday and Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to pass, and we're going to be back in school on Wednesday. Well, I didn't have power Wednesday. I don't know if you did.
Nope. It was all out.
And so we lost it Monday morning where I'm staying at about 6:30 in the morning.
Ooh.
And then it came back on in the middle of the night, and I went, yeah, homeward stretch. 3 hours later, it was
Went
off
back
again.
off.
And then no water. And we're like,
Yep.
oh, man. So, you know, we went ahead and just said, we knew we were going to be out, and then Tuesday, Wednesday. And then I finally just said, guys, this is not going to get better. We had burst pipes everywhere, not in the district. We had a little damage in the district as far as pipes that were burst. But I think the families, you know, how many families do we know of that were affected? You know, there's no way of knowing, you know, from not even their water wasn't turned on or the boil ban, you know, all of these things. And so there's just so much that actually goes into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you this, it's probably, for me as a superintendent, one of the most stressful things I do, because you don't want to make the wrong decision. I would never put a student in harm's way. I would never put an employee in harm's way. And one of the reasons we thought this would pass through on Monday, but we were going to go ahead and call off Tuesday because 37 to 40% of our employees for Galveston ISD live on the mainland.
Mm.
And the causeway, with the wind going underneath, can really get tricky with ice and everything. I didn't want to put them in harm's way. So
That could be really scary.
Yeah, and so it's just kind of a team effort. But then once school is called, we have a kind of a group text and emails and what have you, where we're continuously just, you know, where are we on this school? Well, electric out here, water out here, and it was just. But throughout the week, every day there was constant contact with each other to determine what are we going to do and everything. And yeah, that led us to winter break, I guess. So
A short little break.
If that was winter break, let's go to spring break.
Spring break.
Maybe it'll be a middle. It's got to. It can't. I'm not even gonna say it.
Don't jinx it.
No, that's right. Don't say it couldn't be worse, because oh man. So that's kind of what goes into it, though.
So majority of our district buildings were okay?
Yeah, we had, you know, nothing major. We had a few leaks here and there, a few pipes, but it was nothing that damaged really very many rooms. We might have had little ceiling tiles, but, you know, the only Crenshaw, which is in Bolivar, of course, is really the one that's affected, because they still don't have enough water pressure to do anything. And so they were out today. The rest of you at GISD, don't hate me, just that one campus, not everyone. And they're going to go now remote learning until we know that we have the problem solved. And it's really nothing that we can do as a district. It's not a city, more of a community. They have, you know, they get their water from Winnie.
Oh.
So there's a bigger problems there.
And then we had some meals handed out as well to families in need.
I'm glad. Oh my goodness. So we have I really enjoy our school board, and there's one lady in particular, Monica Wagner, and I don't ever question if she loves y'all. Do not ever question, because she was the one the week before, we got to get coats for the kids. We got to get coats for the kids. We got to get coats. So if it's okay, let's talk about that. Because the week before, like on Thursday and Friday, from our community, from Galveston, Texas, from citizens, we got like hundreds and hundreds of coats
that
we were able to give to students that probably didn't have them. So, and then yes, on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, we served how many meals? I mean, it's like 500 meals.
Wow.
We got together everything we had as a district. What can we package together? And we did kind of a drive-through here in front of Ball High School. We got word out, but then there were people who saw that in our community that said, we want to help. And they packaged up about another 700, and we were able to do it again on Friday. My dates could be off. I think it might have been Wednesday and Friday, or Thursday and Friday. But those were just concerned citizens that said, oh, we see a need. And then UTMB, kind of with a joint effort with us, I think they passed out close to 1,000 at the Moody Methodist Church. So, man, our community and our school district, they stepped up. I mean, it's just, me being new, that was very humbling. It made me very proud to know that I'm living in a community and I'm serving a community that really cares about our students as much as they do. That hats off Galveston.
That's one thing about us. We always stick together, strong.
Well,
trying to do everything we
don't
can
have
for each
choice.
other.
You know, you think about this too, and you've probably lived through it. I know you have. Tropical storms or
Yes.
possible hurricanes, right? And so they say, okay, evacuate. So we go, you know, I've got friends in East Texas or wherever. I have a son lives in Conroe. We don't know how bad it's going to be there. You can always evacuate. There was really nowhere to go because you can't evacuate to the north because they're getting it worse than we got it.
Mm-hmm.
So it really put a lot of families and a lot of employees in a really precarious situation. Do you want to try to go to the east or to the west? I mean, it was like nothing we'd ever spent. Paul Byers, our facilities guy, he told me the other day, on the Friday we got out and we made a decision at school, he goes, "This bothers me more than a hurricane." And I went, "You're kidding me." And
I
he
agree.
said, "No, there's too many. We know we got the wind and possible flood." He said, "There's so many variables that go into this." And sure enough, he was right.
Mm-hmm.
It was man, welcome to Galveston.
Right.
Welcome to paradise. And we get snow. That's great.
And I also wanted to bring up our media arts team, which had a film in the UIL the Film Festival, and they actually advanced to round 2, and we're now waiting on the results.
So you tell me. I know I got the report that I'm a tourist. We advanced. I did a lot of the work on this one, right? No, y'all advanced, and so when was that? When did y'all actually submit that one? Because it's virtual, correct?
Yes, they sent it through. I think we sent it through.
It had to be recently.
Recent, probably 2 weeks.
Okay,
maybe.
and so we're waiting to see. And from I talked to a lot of you guys that were in on the production and the ideas and everything. And
It's February 4th.
February the 4th. So we're 2.5 weeks ago now, I guess. Is that right? And so anxiously waiting. When are we going to get the results?
Just refreshing the pages. We're trying to
Any moment now,
Any moment.
basically. And so I get to interview you now. This is our show.
Yeah.
So what happens next? You advance, then what? Don't say you don't know either. That's not a good answer.
We might win.
So today is you win, or there's no more advancing. You advance to the semifinals.
Yeah.
So when would that be?
Semifinals.
The next round. That's automatically the next round.
Right, but when would that? Oh, so it's just the same thing gets moved. Oh, so okay, I see what you're. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, well, let's make consensus. I've never been in a district where we had this in my previous district, but only at the junior high, but not to what y'all do, not to the extent of what goes on here. And man, I would encourage anybody in the community, when we get over COVID, I think people need to sign in, give them the driver's license, where they're going to run the background, everything else, or make an appointment and come see what all goes on in this corner of Ball High School, because you see, I'm up here a couple times a week now. I'm just so impressed with. We got K-Tor.
Yep, K-Tor the Tornado, the radio station.
Yeah, I don't even know what channel that is.
The channel?
Teach me.
I'm not sure about the
It's
channel.
on the internet.
So it's internet radio. Gotcha. Okay.
And it's all in that
That's
room.
right,
We
yep.
gotta get you a little extra tour of that room.
I see. Yeah, I know. I've seen that tour. I'm just so impressed with what y'all do. And I mean, obviously, like right now, I think we got people that are here, students running the boards, running the sound, producing.
Student operated.
Then edited, operated, and ran. I'm the only adult here, and there are some people would say, okay, well, you're not an adult, so you're okay. I know that's what David Weaver back in Marshall would say that. He's like,
And another thing back on that, we have the cast of this year's UIL one-act play rehearsing for their upcoming competition. But the word is that they have to wear masks on stage.
that doesn't seem fun to me.
It really doesn't. I don't think it'd be, well, I don't know, but for people watching, maybe, it wouldn't be fun to watch.
I mean, it's just like, let's talk about what we're doing right here. You know, we're going to do this every 2 weeks, and we want everybody in Galveston to know what's going on inside our school district. But you know, we made the decision we would stay apart, and because this would be awkward for me without a mask, with a mask, excuse me.
And probably hard to hear each other.
Exactly. So I don't know. It's the world we're living in today. I'm ready for all of this to go away.
Me too.
I am so ready for it to all go away.
Thing.
What about didn't our ROTC they got a really high honor that I just learned about. Oh my goodness me! Everything runs together. I want to say last week, but last week was not last week because it was a bad week. So probably 2 weeks before that, they won where their higher ups, for lack of better terms, came and they inspect, and we had the highest rating on our inspection that they've had in 7 or 8 years. So that's another, top of the hat right there. Band. We had every student advance to state. That was, I even hate to say 2 weeks ago, but I think it was 2 weeks ago. You missed this week, and I can't, it messes everything up. But yeah, they advanced. So once again, it's kind of sad because they advanced, but they have to do it virtually, record it, and I feel sorry for you. You seniors and last year's seniors. Y'all been cheated out of a normal senior year or a normal junior year. Last year's group, they're in the middle of getting ready to go to the playoffs in baseball or softball or soccer, and it's just like season over. And a lot of people didn't get to have a prom. Some did, some didn't. Well, actually, I don't know anybody had a prom, but some places didn't even have graduation. Did you know that? I mean, there were some districts that did, or they did a drive-by. Come by and we'll hand you your diploma or whatever. We have some friends we vacation with, my wife and I, and they live in Pennsylvania, and their son was a senior last year, and they weren't having graduation. And my high school principal was from Michigan, and he had like 3 or 4 friends from various districts. And we at Marshall, we opened it up. We said, we put it out there anywhere that anybody listen. If you're not having graduation, come down and graduate with our students. And so, some people say, well, that ain't right. We only get 10 tickets. We could have each had one more. I said, really, you couldn't have. But but we had some. Our friends in Pennsylvania took advantage of it, and they flew down, and their son got to walk across our stage, and our students and our people that were there cheered as loud for him. After it's just so hard what y'all are missing out in your life.
It's all about the experience,
And has it been good experience?
So far, for me as a senior doing the virtual learning, it's been okay. Can't say I like it very much, but it's been okay.
So tell me, so your senior years, they say these are the greatest years of your life. Your junior, senior years, your high school years. That's what they always said. Now when I went to school, we didn't even have cars or internet or anything. I had to walk and ride a horse. That's how old I am. I'm joking. We didn't have internet, so we couldn't keep up with each other over. They didn't have if they had cell phones, we didn't know what they were, and it would have been devastating for us, but I mean, do y'all do a good job of keeping up with your friends? I mean, it helps with social media and texting and being able to call, and we had the phones you had to, do y'all know what those are? Because they used to have phones that you plugged into a wall. We call them like a landline. We call them phones. Today's generation calls them landlines. Yeah, and so at first it was like you had to do this to make it. You put your finger in like a 7, and then it goes around, and then 2, 2, 2, 0, 3, what have you. And then it was a big day when you could just go push the in there. And I wonder how many people don't even have landlines now in their house. Some people do.
We don't. We don't.
Yeah, I mean,
we used to.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're able to keep up with your friends a lot more now through social media and through texting and everything. So, but still, it's not the same when you don't get to walk down the halls with them, or some don't walk down the halls, or it's just it's a challenge.
Like it kind of separated everybody in a way, because I feel like everyone was closer when all of this wasn't happening, because I don't know, it's just the feel, because you're like, all of this is going on, so we isolate,
right,
in a way.
You do, no, you do.
Sale, and so it's just different. Something you gotta get used to as a student.
And in college, so much of it is done online nowadays, but it's still not what you're supposed to get to experience during high school. It breaks my heart for y'all. I won't lie. It's y'all been cheated.
It's okay. We're resilient. Very resilient.
If y'all get through this, you should get through anything in life, right? Yep. That's right. I'm serious.
What I'm thinking.
That's what people have to think about and everything. So UIL one act play, have they already done their auditions and everything has been cast, or they're doing auditions in mask?
They're rehearsing up for their upcoming.
Okay, so they've already done their auditions then. So everybody knows who's going to be who.
I think so. I think we have somebody in the class maybe who's in that Maybe we can have a talk with her
We
after.
absolutely. We need to know these
Yeah.
things.
I think she's very involved in it, so she might know.
I got you. Okay.
Um,
So baseball starts.
oh, yes.
Softball kind of starting.
Tennis, soccer's still going.
Soccer still going. In fact, there's a game as we're recording today is the 22nd, I think,
Yes.
and I know there's boys and girls both play tonight against LaPorte. We don't like them very much. And then baseball was supposed to have their first regular game today at 4:30, but they pushed it to tomorrow because they needed more time after taking a week off. And I know softball, they've had a couple of, well, baseball had a scrimmage because my wife and I went. It was on a Saturday pre-snow, I guess a week before that, yeah. And then softball's had a couple of scrimmages. I think they're actually going. Yeah, and you, like you said, yeah, tennis is in full swing.
Oh, yeah. Tennis.
Full swing. And I heard, there's a rumor, that did they let the horses have come out?
I haven't heard the rumor. What's the rumor?
Well, did I, you and I try to communicate. Of course, it was hard last week about what we're going to talk about. And polo.
Oh, the water.
Yeah. Oh, well, what? So the horses, they swim. The horses swim.
And
What?
then we have golf and track.
Yeah, golf should be. No, they were supposed to have something last week.
Oh, my teacher. I actually have a teacher who's the golf coach. He says they have a game,
A match.
a match Thursday-ish.
Really? Well,
So he's going to miss the even days. No, the odd days.
I wonder where it's going to be. I might show up
I can ask him for you.
with
for
my
sure.
clubs or something. No, my
planning?
clubs are in storage, so that won't work. So yeah, I mean everything sports-wise right now for the spring, which is the craziest time because like you said, you got baseball, softball, soccer's going on, track, golf, tennis. I know a few weeks ago we hosted Manville. Who all did we host? It was about 3 or 4 schools, and I was going to go. I wanted to see the kids. I love being where the students are. And I ain't gonna lie, I love you guys, but it was just too cold. I couldn't do it. I wasn't. I had to call in reinforcements. I came that day in a short sleeve shirt. I was thinking I live in paradise, and it's going to warm up. It was like, and it never did. So I had to go home and get long sleeves and put them on.
That's how it was during football season. I'm always too cold at the game, so I bring like 3 blankets.
You and my wife could be best friends. I'm telling
chair.
you. Yeah.
My bleacher chair.
Good times.
And if you guys want to check out any of the schedules for the sports, Mr. Judas will have them right here, somewhere below the screen, if you guys want to go to any games.
All right, and also if you go to the website, I think it's Rank 1, if I'm not mistaken, has pretty much updated schedules and everything. And if you come, social distancing is required. They put, I know in basketball, which finished a week ago Saturday, I got to go to a couple of games. They had blue tape where you could not sit, and you're required to wear masks. So everybody needs to kind of be prepared for that. And I think you need to order tickets
online
because you can only limit certain amount of incapacity indoors. I think outdoors is a little bit laxer. I think that you can put more people out there because you're not in the confined area.
True, yes.
I
They
think-
do like every other bleacher.
Yeah. And then they ask you to separate and wear mask and all of that good stuff. But yeah, we played. It was a Saturday. It was a Saturday before Antarctica hit, so that was a week ago, 10 days ago, and we were playing. It was LaPorte, yeah, and we got to that game. Tammy and I, we got to watch that, and we were losing. We come back, hit a 3-pointer with like 30 seconds left, tied the game, go into overtime, and we beat them in overtime. I love beating LaPorte. I want to beat them again tonight in soccer. I really do. I mean, I want to beat them like a tied-up goat. That's a pretty good beating.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a lot going on in the district.
There is. Is there anything you want to talk about?
We've been doing it.
Bouncing ideas off, kind of.
Tell me this. So you're a senior. We need to talk about our seniors that are wanting to go. Let's just say to college. And everything that we do is important. Where are we on our FAFSA? And are we getting we got applications that probably should already be in?
Yes. The deadline, the official deadline is I believe February 28th.
That's next week.
Yes. So if you have to get your FAFSA done, I would get that done. Me, myself, have to get mine done as well.
What? Are you a procrastinator?
Yes, a big procrastinator.
And then, I know that there's scholarships available like crazy.
Yes.
They need to be checking that seniors, check that, because there are deadlines because they have to make decisions on who they want to award those things to, the scholarships.
If
So
you're signed up for College Board, they send out emails almost every day offering scholarships for you. So seniors, College Board is the website you want to check out.
and then graduation is I'm still, that's in June, I think,
I believe so. Yes.
and that's it. Where is that usually at?
Moody Gardens.
It's in Moody Gardens, so it's not in the stadium.
No, sir. It should be at Moody Gardens. Hopefully, last year it was at the stadium due to COVID, so it was a little different for everybody. But I think it was a nice ceremony as well.
Just, you know what? This is my thought. This is my thought as a superintendent. Because I promised my seniors when all this happened, there were 3 things that they were going to be able to do. They have a top 10 banquet for the top 10 students, and I said, you're going to have that. Senior breakfast the day, usually it's the day of graduation. This year was the day before, and then graduation. I said, I don't care what it takes, we're going to do it. We didn't get to graduate until like June 12th, 13th, 14th, something like that. It was, we did it, usually it's on a Friday night. We did it on a Saturday morning where it wouldn't be quite as hot, because once you get into June, it gets a little warmer.
Yes.
And we were able to do all of that, but we're going to have graduation for you guys. I don't care.
Awesome.
I don't think that's really a question anymore, because we learned how. Well, we learned how to do it. The last year is like, how do we pull this off? How do we do it? And we put our heads together and we figured it out. We're going to social distance, and we did it there in our stadium. And like you said, y'all did it here in the stadium. It's not as strict when you're inside, when you're outside, than when you're inside. But so, you're excited for graduation?
I am very excited. My last name starts with a C, so I'm going to be one of the first ones. So it's a little scary, but I'm ready. I think I'm ready.
And then you're going to go to college.
Yes, sir.
We've already talked about this.
Yep. The next step.
The next step. That's right. So I'm excited that we can get together these every other week, and we just talk about all the things that are going on and upcoming events. And it's been a little easier probably if we were in school last week, could have communicated a little bit better. But there's a lot of things that our community can get behind still, and we want them to do that. We want our students to come out in full force, and no matter what, you're making memories. You're still making memories, and it might not look like it did 3 years ago, and it might not look like what it's going to be in the next 3 years. We don't know. We don't know what the future holds, but you're making memories.
We are. We might look back in a couple years and be like, how the flu was the big epidemic back then. Maybe that's going to be COVID for us. We're going to look back at it and say, wow, we really got through that.
We did, and we stuck together. We prayed for each other. We held on to each other. I guess socially distanced, but anyway, we supported each other. That's the best way to say it. And as a school district, we do the same thing. We don't want to see you guys miss out on anything. Oh, there's one more thing. We got 1 minute, but the Saturday before that we got out, the Great Antarctica, Burnett Elementary, they dedicated their garden, which is the Garden Club of Galveston. Yeah, so we were able to do that, and it was kind of weird because we're bundled up, with hats and everything, freezing, and we're dedicating a garden. It did not seem normal because of the weather, but we were able to do that, and Burnett's, they're really excited about that. So I think now all of our elementaries have a garden. I think.
Yes, Parker does have one, right?
I believe. I think Burnett was actually the last one.
Everyone got turtles.
There's a lot of turtles all over Galveston.
Everyone got turtles.
Sometimes they're downtown, the post office, in front of our schools. There's a lot of turtles going around.
I like ours. It's adorable.
It is. Yeah, they got the little Letterman jacket.
on
Yeah, it's pretty neat. So anyway, yeah, we've still got a lot going on, and I'm looking forward to meeting with you and talking about all things GISD.